This is Code Green, weekdays from 8 a.m. on Spirit TV.
Welcome back. You are still watching Spirit TV. This is Code Green, and I'm here with the amazing Pastor Sarah, the author of Beauty in the Cracks. This is my personal copy, by the way, just so you know, just so we put it out there. This is my personal copy. We are going to be talking Conversations of the Heart. This is a segment we are calling Heart to Heart. We invite you to be a part of this, and this is where we want you to be unmasked. You're coming up close with these conversations, unmasked. We don't want you perfect. We don't want you with makeup. Just come as you are, as we have these conversations, because we are going to be sharing from her perspective of her life with everything that she has been through, but also for you to get a better understanding of the direction that we are going to be taking. You need to get this copy. It's amazing. Don't take my word for it. Get it, read it, and know where you're coming from. And good morning, Pastor Sarah.
Good morning.
You're looking sharp this morning.
Thank you.
You almost copied me with the black, but then you had to put on a blazer. Yes.
I can see. It's a very good, contrast.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's good to have you once again. We are introducing Heart to Heart. You're going to be with us twice a month. What should people expect from this?
Well, realness.
Yes.
Rawness. Redemption.
Beauty in the cracks. But also today we have an interesting conversation. Before we came on, they were talking about marriage, but we want to go a few steps back before we get to that. And we understand that life does not have a manual. There's no one who is going to tell you that do this and this and this and this, and you shall never have a hurt or pain a day of your life. But a few helps, a few words of encouragement here and there can help. And today we want to focus on a person who is coming from a protected space onto freedom. They are entering a whole new environment, but they are coming from a protected space. We are talking about a person, akuze wawe mulokole. All they know is school and church. Now here they are. They are getting a new job. They are going away from home. They are facing the world as it is. Do you have a familiarity of what kind of person we are talking about, Pastor Sarah?
Yes, most definitely. Although mine was not even a case of being coming from a born-again background,
yes,
or from a very strictly, strictly Christian,
yes,
because Catholic. But as a last born,
yes, of how many kids?
Of 10.
Oh, amazing, yes.
Yes. I grew up in a very protected environment.
Yes.
The neighborhood itself was quite protected. That was Kololo.
Yes.
And having older siblings,
yes,
also meant that I was really watched on. I was looked after, and everything had to be going well with Sarah.
Yes.
And so that, for me, painted a picture of a certain kind of life.
Yes. Everyone is a good space for you.
Exactly.
There's no harm in the world.
I was loved on. I was spoiled.
Yes.
I had all the attention in the world, in
yes,
the whole wide world. I had everything I needed. Right?
Yes.
And everyone appeared to be nice.
Yes.
And appeared to be good. That's what I knew, right? And if at all I was trained in any way about the outside world, it was, don't do this. Right?
Yes.
Or be aware of this.
Yes.
But you don't know what it looks like.
Yeah. And to what extent you have to be aware of.
Exactly.
Now, I want us to talk about that person. They are coming from this protected space. Now they are going out in the world. What do you think they should have in mind, first of all? what do you think they should have in mind as you go away from, let's say you're coming from primary going on to secondary, you know, you don't know what to expect out there. You're coming from a day school, you're going into a boarding, or boarding going into a day school with more exposure. You're coming from all these schools that are protected, a protected home. What should you know as you go out in the world? And I want us to concentrate, I think, on the ones coming to campus. Because in most cases, we have had abalokole bebasinga okwononeka campus. Why is it like that? But also, what are the lessons? What are the things that we should have in mind as we go away from home, going to campus, a new environment altogether?
That's an interesting question. One, expect the good and the bad.
How bad though? Because now we have tested the good at home, we have been loved. How bad though?
Expect the good and the bad. The truth, Stella, is we need to be equipped with knowledge.
Yes.
Right? Because without knowledge, we are naive.
Yes.
Right? And the enemy is attracted to naivety.
They use it.
And the enemy will actually want to keep us naive, right?
Yes.
Because then we are vulnerable and then he can have us.
When you don't know.
When you don't
anything
know
slaps you in the face.
Exactly what is going on.
Yeah.
Right? So we need to have knowledge.
Yeah.
We can't afford to step out of the world in a simplistic way. As in, everything is good.
Yes.
I'm going to be treated well. Everyone is like my mother, everyone is like my father, everyone is like my sister, everyone is like my brother. That you need to start to process that even before you step out.
Pastor Sarah, whose responsibility is it for me to think about that? Because now I am going to campus. All I have been told is don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. No one has actually told me, expect this.
It's the parents. Absolutely. It's the parents. And Stella, the issue really is that because of where, first of all, let me say this.
Yeah.
Most of us come from a place of brokenness.
Yes.
You will find parents that have experienced very negative, situations.
Yes.
Whether at university, whether in their upbringing. Now, instead of confronting these issues, first of all, they haven't confronted these issues themselves. Now, when you haven't confronted something, you cannot confront it with your children. So the cycle continues.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So the point really is parents need to process and confront their own issues.
Yes.
Because what you have not processed and confronted becomes a problem for life. Not only for you, for your children and their children. Wow. So the manner or the approach to raising will be, I would rather protect them from this.
Yes.
Yeah.
We shall not talk about boys.
We shall not talk about this issue. We shall not talk about boys. We shall not talk about how your body feels when you're a certain age and it's okay. We will not talk about the real issues.
Yes. What you have to go through to get a job that sometimes you're going to be told no.
Exactly.
You're good, you passed, but no.
Exactly. We won't even talk about making mistakes.
Yes.
We don't want to be seen by our children as having made mistakes, because we feel that having made a mistake makes you a mistake.
Yes.
And so you fear, look at a young lady who has had a child maybe out of wedlock, and they have to raise them as a single mother, and the child is struggling to make sense of this life with mom.
Yes.
Where is dad? What happened?
They don't even talk about it.
They never talk about it.
Yes.
And a time is going to come when that child is questioning.
Yes.
They're asking, what exactly happened between dad and mom? How did this go? How did it start?
And that is what happens when people go to campus. They are from a protected environment. They've always been told, no, don't go out, don't involve in groups. Now they have a chance to make a decision. And guess what? You've left them wondering. They're saying, why was I refused? Can't you get
And that is the thing. Because truth is, Stella, what you do not know has capacity to hurt you as much as what you know.
What you know. Oh my God, Pastor Sarah, say it again. Say it again.
What you do not know
yes.
has capacity to hurt you and harm you as much as what you know.
How though? Because if I don't know, how can that hurt me? Is it because I'm inquisitive?
Because you're naive.
Oh yes.
You don't know. You are naive. So you're going to step out into an environment with
Yeah.
naivety. Because you don't know.
I want to come to you on that point. Pastor Sarah, what is, because there's a thin line between being innocent, being naive, being young,
Immature.
and being stupid. Sorry to say the word. Where is the line? Because sometimes we trust people because we think they can't do us harm.
Exactly.
Then we repeat the pattern because maybe we are innocent, maybe we are young. But where is the line between all those things? Are you innocent? And to what extent are you innocent? To what extent are you naive? To what extent are you young or are you stupid?
Naivety is the capacity for, it is the inability for you to make good judgment. And you cannot make good judgment without knowledge.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because you use knowledge to make choices and to make decisions.
Yes.
That's why the Bible says that my people perish for lack of knowledge.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, purity is the protection from adulteration or contamination or defilement.
So purity in this case is like what? Being young? Is that what we are calling it?
No, I can be pure and I'm 50 or 60 because it's a state, it's an uprightness. It is a posture of making decisions from an upright place.
Yes.
Where there is no any form of defilement, where there is no any form of contamination.
Is it possible?
It is possible with Christ because Stella, we cannot be pure all the time.
Yes.
I mean, some of us I made mistakes as early as, I don't know, 19 or 17. You know, can I be pure now? Absolutely, I can. But you know what, Stella? When naivety has capacity to rob us of purity. Because what you do when you are naive, right?
Yes.
Positions you or gives you a certain mindset, a certain way of looking at things,
yes.
a certain way of thinking, a certain way of approaching things, right? And usually, it's not always good. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yes.
Now, I'll give my own example. My own interface with males, with a male gender.
Yes.
Early in life.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Gave me a certain mindset about guys. Because this happened very early.
Yes.
Yeah. It wasn't of my doing. Yeah. It was a setup. I ended up into sexual intercourse very early. Actually, it was rape.
Yes.
Right? And so it gave me a dysfunction.
And when you talk about that, sorry, Pastor Sarah, I want to know what led to that. Were you naive, innocent, young, or because that is the point. When you get to these mistakes, people are going to bring up all sorts of explanations why it happened. Now, coming from that, with where you are right now, were you naive?
You can be young and not naive. I was young and naive at the same time.
Yes.
Right? So being young is not an excuse to be naive. Did I have a way out of that?
Yes.
I would have if I had been better prepared in the environment in which I was.
Yes.
Right? But also, Stella, at that point, there's information going around.
Yes.
About this is what happens. You either hear it in school or you hear it among your peers or you
on TV.
But you're not taking it seriously. you know,
it cannot happen
it can't
to you.
happen. It can't. That's far from me. That's too far. That is way, you know, out of my, you know, my space. It cannot happen.
Yes.
Now, for me, the stepping out of that protected space without the knowledge that I needed, and without the capacity to judge, because I was young.
Yes.
Yeah. Is what opened me up to danger.
Wow. Now, we have been able to talk about being naive and being pure. Now, what about innocent and stupid? Because you find, you know, I hate using this word, and we are not being abusive here. But isn't there a pattern you get to and you're like, okay, now, this is foolishness. The Bible talks about it as foolishness. Yeah. So, how about innocence, and to what level do you have to get to for it to be foolishness?
I have a feeling that something that when you practice naivety over and over again, it borders onto stupidity. Yeah, we are sorry we have to use this word, but that's exactly what it is. Because Stella, when you are naive and you do things out of naivety, there are consequences.
Yes.
Right? And those consequences usually come with pain. Yeah. But it's funny that it's so easy to repeat the same thing. Yeah? And so if it is repeated, if there is a pattern, humanly we call that stupidity. But spiritually, you need to be spiritual mapping, because there might be a form of bondage. The thing is that naivety opens doors. It will open a door. Whatever you do out of naivety will open a door. Even what you do out of purity can open a door. Yeah. But whatever you do out of naivety opens a door. It opens a door to the enemy, right? And when he's in, now he has set the agenda, he has changed the way you think, that's what he wanted with Eve.
Yes.
He changes the way you think, he changes the way you see life, and then this is a good space for him to work.
Yes.
And to accomplish greater than you think or greater than you knew.
Yeah.
Right? So that then becomes a pattern. Now, that door has to be closed at some point in life. You cannot close that door without knowledge. So naivety must open us up to the desire to know. To the desire to be equipped.
Yes.
To the desire to be taught. Right? What is it that I got wrong? What happened there?
Yes.
Right? What did I not know?
Why?
Is there room for me to know? Right? And we don't end there, because that's knowledge. We put it into action, which is wisdom.
Yes.
So you repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, it becomes stupidity. But you also have to ask, is there bondage there? Is this stupidity birthed from a place of bondage? Or has stupidity birthed bondage for me?
Yes. So being naive is not an excuse.
It isn't.
Actually, even in the law, not knowing is not an excuse. That I didn't know, so I parked the car in the wrong space. Yeah. It's not an excuse.
In fact, naivety is ignorance.
Are you innocent once?
That's a good question.
Yeah, are you innocent once? Like, that once
is
you
it a
lose...
one-off?
Yes, that once you lose it, that's that?
Still, I don't even know if innocence is a very good thing.
Really?
Yeah. Because, how can I say this? We are innocent for a time.
Yeah.
And for an age. And as we transition and grow up, we need to start to be opened up to things that suit our transition and our age. Now, you have people that are 20 years.
Yes.
And they're still boasting in innocence. You have people that are 25 and they're still thinking that being innocent is a very good thing.
Yes.
But the world is harsh. And innocence is not going to take you through this world.
Are you saying we should get our hands dirty?
No, it's actually it's not even getting our hands dirty. It's knowing what's out there. It's knowing what awaits you out there. And I'm not saying test and we're only allowed to test and see that the Lord is good, not test and see that Satan
is there,
is harsh, you know, can hurt you or harm you or bite you. Yeah, it is. Let me say this. If I had been told, I was raised to protect myself.
Yes.
I was never raised to confront issues. I was never nurtured to confront.
Yeah.
So even when I was being told not to do, when I was in a space where I was confronted with don't, I didn't know how to confront that.
Interesting. Unfortunately, because of time, we have to stop there. But I feel these conversations need a part 2, Pastor Sarah. We need it as soon as possible. Let the producer look into it. But also, thank you for being a part of the show. From Godwin and I, the whole team here at Code Green, we appreciate you being a part of the show. Follow us at BS Biroji on Twitter, Biroji Stella on Facebook. Pastor Sarah, how can people get in touch with you?
Oh, I'm on Facebook, Sarah Sseggane. That's where I am. I'm going to be on YouTube.
Very soon?
Very soon, actually. Probably after this show, I should be on YouTube.
Oh!
Yes, but Facebook, that's where I am right now.
We should get... You should host me now. I'll be the one seated there and you're hosting me. Heart to Heart is going to be happening twice a month. And somehow I feel like I'm going to talk to the producer so that at least we can get a part 2 of this, but also follow Pastor Sarah so that you can know whether we actually went ahead with this conversation. We might take it to YouTube instead. And also the book is Beauty in the Cracks. Even as you are crawling through the cracks, there is beauty in that space. From me and the entire team here at Spirit TV and Code Green, we say have a blessed day.
This is Code Green.